Hey there, Riverica here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring other ways to push through that guilt and shame, transmuting it into love. But before that, some disclaimers. I am not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I am a fortune teller. So, what I offer is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your future, only your intentions and actions do. So, please use your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest to the universe for cosmic composting back into beauty. And this reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, emotions, intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. All that said, let me introduce our helpers. I have lit candles from Source, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the homeless, those that kick them out of their homes, the neighbors, the passers-by, even those working against our spiritual progression. Also for harmony, unity, and balance, for Archangel Gabriel, for our ancestors here in the highest love and light, and for those who crossed over to Father Sky by suicide, and the family and friends they left behind on Mother Earth, as well as the war-torn families, countries, nations, worlds, galaxies, universes. And we thank Source for helping us all adopt success, transmuting these violent cycles into love. Heartily, we are grateful. We also have some sage to help clear the space in a minute, and my mini crystal ball, my wooden wand, my wooden dagger wand to help buoy our spirits. That wood helps buoy our spirits, and that dagger helps cut to the heart of the matter without harming a soul. And the world map, and we have the Cali Oracle by Alana Fairchild and illustrated by Jimmy Manton, published by Blue Angel Publishing. And the crystal on that is, I do believe, an ammonite, but please correct me if I am incorrect. And this is a stone that many people who have decided to channel healing appreciate. But I invite you to check out 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 27 different sources to see what resonates with you, because we're all different psychosocial science experiments, and what resonates with you may be different than me, and I want this reading to be useful for you. So I invite you to check that out on your own. And we also have the world map that I mentioned. So before we jump in, let's clear the space. And I invite you to hold the intention of love, and only love we shall see. Thank you so much for helping clear all the hate, intolerance, violence, unwelcomes, interference, obstacles, darkness, streaming grace to replace. Heartily, we are grateful. And let me know if you enjoy the saging, you'd prefer no saging, you'd rather have the bell. Trying out different ways of clearing the space and including you in that. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much for your support. So happy to be here with you. So novel. Thank you. So let's see about how to transform that guilt and shame. You are a whole, full, powerful, loving, spiritual being, and so am I. And we thank your source, spirit team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints, sages, gods, goddesses, universes here in the highest love and light, as well as mine. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, and protection. Heartily, we are grateful. And so it is. So it was. So it was. So it was. So it was. And Kali is one of the goddesses of the Ramani, but she helps those who she comes across, or those that come across her who are lost and in need of help. She's wonderful that way. And I also invite you to check out gods and goddesses of your own culture that may really inform your study and practice of this life, your art and craft of this life, in ways that are just unique to you and your people. And you may find super deep resonance with. And thank you for making this reading abundantly clear in the highest love and light. Heartily, we are grateful. Let's see, we just want one card about how to move through that guilt and shame. Turn that obstacle into ability and block. That guilt and shame can be so paralyzing. It's one of the 7 cards all humans are dealt with: loss, grief, mastery and control, rejection, intimacy, and identity are the other 6 two-faced cards. We're all dealt with loss as we adopt new life worth living. All right, that's too many. 3. Martha of Kalamatki. I just want one, thank you. Awesome. So we have 41. Krishna. Wow. I love that. I haven't seen this card before. Did you know that that was a manifestation of Kali? That's so cool. So there's our crystal and our card. In 41, it's funny, I rolled a 4 to get this deck. So there, that 4 is coming up again. That's been happening with these rolls. That's so fun. And 4 reminds me of a chair, 4 feet on the floor, keeping it solid and grounded, keeping us solid and grounded. We're solid and grounded, stable. And that number 4 also helps us if we're being pulled on energetically, emotionally, physically. That number 4 helps us maintain our balance and groundedness. And that's especially helpful for the orphan and adoptee that are pulled in all sorts of different directions by the people in their lives. And you can use that numerology, visualizing it around your space or over your body, in all sorts of different ways. You can make a mantra or a song out of it or art form out of it to help integrate that, to help you play through the loss with that. And the number 1 invokes the Creator. It initiates and begins. It puts our needs to a conclusion and puts ourselves first. And it also helps with those victim issues that began our boundary problems, where we take on others or take on others' energy or put others before us. And then 4 + 1 add up to 5. And the number 5 helps us go any direction at will. It helps make a space for decision making. It promotes and progresses. It's making me think of the hummingbird right now, going any direction at will. And that number 5 also helps us from becoming overburdened with other people's energy and stuff. again, also so helpful for the orphan and adoptee. But of course, it's not just exclusive to the orphan and adoptee having these situations arise. So let's see what Krishna has to share with us about how to play through the guilt and shame card that can really cripple our play. That guilt and shame, it's one of the lowest vibrations. And so we want to switch that as quickly as we can if we've chosen the healing path. And I think compassion, forgiveness, and understanding might be the flip side of the guilt and shame card. But put your ideas in the comments. What do you think is on the flip side of the guilt and shame card that might represent that higher vibration that we want to aspire to? So Krishna, this reading is split in 3 parts. There's a beginning, middle, an invocation ritual, and then a closing. So I invite you to settle in. And here we go. Krishna, there is spiritual intelligence within your soul. It is the genius of becoming, of ripening from potential into glorious manifestation. Intimate communion with your own heart will reveal what it is you truly yearn for and set the process in motion for that yearning to be satisfied. The holy fire is Kali, and she is within your soul. Follow the yearning, seek the light. Let yourself burn bright for what inspires you, and you shall see the path to fruition clearly before you. Believe in what is meant to be. The name Krishna translates as, quote unquote, you are fire. Agni is the 2-headed deity of fire and a potent symbol of supernatural power. On the physical level, fire generates light and heat to cook food, thereby representing both transformation and nourishment of the life force. The inner digestive fires that metabolize food and allow us to gain nutrients represent the inner nourishment of fire and symbolizes the soul's need to digest our life experiences for spiritual growth. Fire can create purification for regeneration, such as that seen in a forest after it simultaneously burns away old growth and stimulates new seeds. In that sense, it is also the power of ripening, of bringing something from an idea or potential into fruition and fulfillment of innate purpose. On a spiritual level, fire attracts the soul, helping it find its way through darkness towards warmth and life. The life-enhancing and alchemical properties of fire transform physical materials as well as the subtle body of the soul. The appearance of Krishna in a reading indicates that tremendous potential for personal transformation and spiritual growth. You may feel like you are struggling, but your soul is actually gaining strength. What you desire may seem far beyond your current reach, yet the oracle indicates your inner potential for tremendous accomplishment. The Hindu texts say that Agni exists not only as fire, but as lightning and the sun itself. Lightning is a symbol for sudden illumination that emerges unexpectedly, often in the midst of a tremendous psychological or emotional storm. In that sense, Agni is the power to see with clarity. Such a powerful and searing insight can be intense enough to uproot a stubborn psychological pattern permanently. This is one reason why Kali is known as the first of the 7 tongues of Agni, the divine fire. The jolt of her uprising wisdom, the severity of her suddenly bestowed clarity, can burn down the house we have built. We can no longer sustain a comfortable delusion. We must become honest with ourselves or change our approach to a situation based on the new information available. There is a temporary loss to gain greater freedom to grow on all levels. As the sun, Agni represents the light that ends the darkness. As the sun, Agni represents the light that ends the darkness. Yet Kali, the divine mother of dark grace, is the first of the tongues of the divine fire. This is the key to Kali's mysteries. It differentiates her from the concept of darkness as an evil or obstructive force against our spiritual awakening. Kali leads us into darkness to free us, not to impede our progress. She destroys in order to create, not to annihilate. In that sense, her divine darkness is light. This is the mystery of Kali and why we can trust her so implicitly, understanding that sometimes it is only moving through the darker times that we become aware of what is needed to live with more light. As a tongue of fire, Kali Krishna consumes all offerings. She is the divine capacity to receive our prayers, our pains, our craziness, and our graceful heroism. She receives it all. She not only receives it, did you see the fire light up there on one of the candles? That was funny. She not only receives it, but as fire, she transforms the offering so it can nourish, heal, revitalize, and purify the soul. This is divine feminine alchemy. Kali is the divine alchemist, and because she is a tantric goddess, if we offer her even our most broken and messed up selves with a sense of reverence and humility, she will accept the offering and manifest grace from it. There is a deeper purpose to making an offering, the opening up of a channel between ourselves and the divine. The divine doesn't need to be cajoled into loving or wanting to help us. It is the human that needs help dragging the mind away from a fixation on what is wrong into the openness and presence that allows for divine grace to flow and for us to receive it. While the offering appears to be about what we are giving, it is enabling the capacity to receive. It may seem like offerings are tokenistic, but a true offering is hard to give. It is hard because it requires that we shift our presence, our state of mind and being. The more we do this, the greater the offering. It matters less what the form of our offering is, but more how it affects us internally. The Oracle of Krishna brings the message that whatever you need and desire, you can have. However, you must be prepared to enter into the sacred fire to make the appropriate offering. When we choose to make the supreme offering of ourselves to Kali, we are fully received and thus activate the flow of grace in our lives for the spiritual benefit of all. The Oracle asks you to shift from focusing on what isn't working to immersion into the Divine Mother's heart. All can then be resolved and shall manifest according to her loving grace. Well, that's deep. And I just also want to add, be careful with the fire. If you're already angry, it may inflame that more. So you want to be super careful with that fire. And also, right, you don't want to burn down your house with the physical fire. So just take extra super special care. And to wrap up this reading, we have an invocation ritual and the closing. So here we go. When you are ready, say the following prayer. Kali Ma, tongue of divine fire, Agni, Lord of light and fire, please accept my humble offering as I surrender my attachments and offer my innermost being to the sacred fires of divine love and wisdom. I ask for your cleansing, healing protection, and fully actualized divine transformation. May every aspect of my being become what it is divinely intended to be through your grace and for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Jai Ma Kali. Imagine, feel, intend, or visualize that there is divine fire before you. This fire is sacred, cleansing, protective, and renewing. You can pass through the flames, and each time you do so, whatever you are willing to release, to offer up, is received. It is your choice as to what that shall be, and how many times you pass through the flames. It is an intimate act of relationship between you and the divine. You may see Kali dancing in the flames. Intend to let go, to bring your focus into making an offering. It all happens in the heart. You don't need to overthink it. When you are ready, ground yourself in the present moment. You may notice that you are not as you were, even if you cannot clearly articulate why or how that is so. Place your hands in prayer and bow your head. You have completed your ritual. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much, Source. And that is reminding me that as we're talking about how to transmute this guilt and shame from all the different reasons that we can pick up guilt and shame, there's so many, from being on both sides of the fence of racism, abuse, neglect, Romophobia, anti-gypsyism, inequitable social contracts, all the different ways that guilt and shame can come up. Like maybe you mirrored the madness. Oh, there went my light, but look, we can still see. Mirroring the madness of what you went through, that can bring up guilt and shame, all the different reasons. And what I'm reminded is that the universe loves us all and knows us all and sees what we're going through and doesn't judge us that way, doesn't judge us like we judge ourselves. And in some scripture, we're shown how we are forgiven, like our transgressions are removed from us as far as the east is from the west, say some scripture. And that can be found across cultures. And so this card, this Krishna, is also reminding me of that notion to help us release from that guilt and shame, knowing that we're already forgiven. And so to help us rest in that and to help us really release during this invocation ritual. And so that is what I am seeing for you in this reading. And if this resonated with you, you may also enjoy my online courses. They're on sale right now. Reclaim Your Game, Adoptive Parent College. And then there's also a free coaching on Tuesdays from 8 to 8:30 Eastern Time. It's called Chachabusin, or True Friend in Romani Chib, translated from Romani Chib, where we help you play your cards, help you turn your obstacles into building blocks. In this Tuesday circles, we troubleshoot what's working, what's not. And in the Reclaim Your Game course, we dive deep into playing your cards, how to play your cards, hot tips about how to play your cards, what cards you've been playing that maybe you want to toss out, what cards you've been playing that maybe you want to turn over and play the flip side. And the Adoptive Parent College touches on that some more, as well as some hot tips for everybody in the community, not just the parents, right? It's not just the parents the adoptive parents who are helping the adoptee. It's the whole community, from the doctors, the lawyers, the teachers, the politicians. And so that Adoptive Parent College is for those people. And it also has as a bonus Reclaim Your Game. So that's super exciting. And the first 10 people to enroll in Reclaim Your Game with coupon code ADOPTEE in all lowercase get the course for free. So that's super exciting. So if that resonates with you and you think that may help you on your healing path, those resources are there for you in the description of this video, as well as on the About page of my YouTube channel, where you may find other resources that may help you on your healing path. And thank you so much for helping breathe life into Adoption Spirit Magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.